this is Ashi from Crafting with Ashi and welcome to this video. I have a cute little one sheet wonder to share with you today. Share with you today, and it's this little mini album. Don't know if you can see. Sorry about the glare. There you go. So it's especially for you. It has this little belly band that comes off and then you open it up and you've got a little tag there. So there you've got 8 little pockets and we've bound it. So it's all made just from, the main construction is just from one sheet of 12 by 12 cardstock. So let's show you how I did it. This is not my own idea, I have to say. It is somebody else's, but I can't remember who. I'm really sorry to say. I first saw this one sheet wonder when I first became a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and that was in 2012. So that's when I saw this and how to do it. I have tried to go back to see if I could find the video. I can't. It's way too many years ago, unfortunately. So whoever did it, thank you for thinking this up and showing me how to do it, and I'm going to share it with you today. So I have this little template that shows you what we're going to do. So, and you can see it just folds up. It's brilliant, you know. So let's start. So we need a 12 by 12 sheet of cardstock, and I'm using basic black here. So I'm going to score first on this one side at 2 inches, and then again at 6, and then at 10. So that's 2, 6 and 10. Then we turn it around 1/4 turn, and we're going to score it this time at 3. Make sure I didn't jump the track there. 3, I did jump the track. 3, 6 and 9. And that is our scoring done, my friends. Simple as that. So let's get the scoreboard out the way. Okay, so now what I'm going to do before I do anything else is I'm going to fold on all these score lines. So let's start with the easy ones. Okay, so let's see. You always want to fold into the score line. So it's just being able to see it because it's black, it's a bit difficult to see. So let's fold and burnish well. So you need your bone folder for this. Bone folder is one of the best tools you can invest in as a paper crafter. A good bone folder is worth its weight in gold. Okay, so last one here. Okay, so that's that we fold on all the score lines. So now I'm going to bring my template here, and you can see with the 2-inch side at the top. So you've scored here at 2, 6 and 10. You're going to cut up to, show you on the white, it's maybe easy. You're going to cut up to the score line here. So this will be the 3, 6, the 9-inch score line you're going to cut. Okay, so you can see there on that one on the white, it's much easier to see. There's your 2-inch pieces, and you're going to cut up the middle there, so you've got 2 little flappies. Okay, so you could do it with your trimmer. I'm just going to follow the lines and cut with my scissors, because just for this I cannot be bothered to get the trimmer out, to be very blunt. Okay, so there we go. So we separated those two. Okay, so it's going to come together like this. So now let's score. Okay. Give it a good burnish. Okay. And now I'm going to want to put adhesive on one of these squares here where it's still connected at the top. So I'm just going to use some Tombow. Yeah, I know, Tombow and me, but we're going to try anyway. If I can get it to work. Oh, it's working today. Sometimes I find, no, it doesn't want to work now. I have to squeeze the bottle too hard for me, because I do have a frozen shoulder and a repetitive strain injury. I have a frozen left shoulder and repetitive strain injury in my right arm here, and I have a feeling my right shoulder is also freezing up. Unfortunately, frozen shoulders tend to be something that type 1 well, I don't know about type 2, but I know type 1 diabetics for some reason are more liable to get a frozen shoulder. And yeah, I am a type 1 diabetic, so it's just one of those things, but hey ho, we can continue. Now look at that, I had my bone folder, and where have I put it? Has anybody else ever been in this situation? You've put something down, you just had it, and where does it go? It's like those little mice that come in and go and take it. I can't believe this. Where is it? This is, there it is, hiding underneath my Tombow. You said these things are sent to try us, so I'm just going to give that a bit of a burnish to get it to stick. And now we can begin to fold. So I'm going to start with the serge side, and I fold it, and every time I fold I'm going to burnish. I'm going to fold it over like that, and I'll fold it back on itself like that, and back on itself again like that. And this is when the bone folder, as I said, is worth its weight in gold. So we're going to do the same on this side, fold it over, fold it again, and fold it again, and there we have our little book. Okay, this is going to be the side we're going to bind, and this will be the side of our book. Very cool, huh? So now here I'm actually going to put just a little bit of adhesive along each of these here on the inside. I'm going to use Tombow as well, because I just want a very small bead of glue. So I'm just going to clean the top off. Hopefully not get Tombow over myself and everything else. There we go. Whoops. See, that's why I don't like Tombow. It squeezes out and I can't get it to be just a tiny bead, because I don't have that that ability just to, it either gets squeezed out like there's no tomorrow, or there's a little bit, because I can't maintain that that pressure, even pressure, to bring it out. But at least the good thing about Tombow is it dries clear, so if you make a boo-boo like that, just wipe it off straight away. And if worst comes to worst, you can just use an adhesive remover to get anything off. But I'm sure you lot will do a perfect job, whereas I'm doing a pig's breakfast. Okay, anyway, we're also going to have to put a little bit at the ends here as well. We don't have to do any other ones because of the way it folds, so I'm just going to put a little bead. Where's that tissue? I think I just wasted some of the tissue, but anyway, that's better. I think it's also me, I can't stand the feel of glue on my fingers, so I'm going to have to go and wash them in a second, because it just does me. I don't know why, I'm just weird like that. Okay. Okay. Can you see why I always say to you, Tombow and me are not a happy marriage? Now I think I've proved that without a second opinion needed. Okay, so there we have a little booklet. So now I am going to go and wash the glue off my hands, and I'll be back in a second. Okay, glue washed off, so there we have our little album. Isn't that just great? So now we're going to stick our pattern paper on the front and the back, and the pattern paper I've used is from the Pressed Petals collection. Okay, let me get it out. I'm going to put this on before I put my binding on. And there's these two little pieces here, and let's see, what do they measure? 3 3/4 inches by 2 inches. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my nice snail. Okay, so this side, fold up album again. This side is going to have the binding, so we're going to have the binding coming over a bit, as you can see here. So we want to put our piece of pattern paper towards the right hand side. So we're just going to put that on, line it up, there we go, and do the same on the back. We're going to put it towards the open edge, the non-bound edge. Okay, so there we have our bits of paper. So now our binding, this is in soft suede, and this measures 4 inches by 4 inches, and you're just going to wrap it round. Right, so if you get the centre here just by folding it in half, making a little mark, then you sort of know where it's going to go. When you've wrapped it round like that. So we're going to put some adhesive on this now, and let's just use some tear and tape. I think it'll be the easiest to use. Whoops, I'm knocking everything over here. I would use snail, but I don't feel snail is strong enough for this project, so I'm going to use some tear and tape. I really like our tear and tape. It's really good quality tape, it sticks well, and the best thing for me is that the backing is super easy to get off, and that makes a big difference. And as always, it is pressure adhesive tape, so the easiest, just give it a bit of a burnish to get it to really stick down, and it will also make getting the backings off super easy, as you can tell. And for once, being on camera, nothing went wrong. Isn't that amazing? Well, it is for me anyway. Okay, so we're just going to line it up on the one side, wrap it round, make sure, whoops, you don't do what I just did, stick it down before you've got it straight, but no harm done. And because it is pressure adhesive tape, you can lift it slightly without causing too much hassle until you've pressed it down properly, and then it is stuck. So there you go, there's your album. Okay, so now we're going to make our belly band quickly. Okay, so I've got a piece here that measures 1 inch by 8 inches, and I'm just going to fold it, put it behind and get it roughly equal on both sides, and then just wrap it round. I haven't given measurements for the scoring because it just depends on how you've cut your paper, what you've used, and you just want to have enough space for it to slide properly along, so something like that. So that seems fine. So I'm just going to use some snail. I'm not going to score it because it's a rounded edge along here rather than a straight edge, so it's easier just to bring it like that, and then I can score. Remember, this bit is fatter than the top, so you need to be able to slide it along. Okay, So there is your belly band. Okay, and let's do our bits of stamping. Okay, I think we'll do all our stamping. So we've got our belly band there, and I'm going to get a piece of scrap white, which is here, and I'm using the Botanical Bliss stamp set, and I'll be using this stamp called Especially For You, and I'll show you the stamp set. That's the stamp set we're going to be using. Okay, and I'm going to be using some soft suede ink. Okay, just ink it up, press it down, hold it. I think that's a bit close to the edge actually. Let's try again. Yeah, that'll do. Oh, sorry, that's my phone. Don't know what its problem is today. Okay, we're going to punch that out using the Timeless Label punch, just like that. Okay, let me close this punch, and then just to give a little edge around the edges, bring back this ink actually, I'm just going to sponge around the edges. So get your sponge out, get it inked up, and I'm just going to sponge like that, just to give it a little bit of an edge. Okay. Now let's put this on our belly band. So bring back our album, put over our band, right way round. You want it with the crease on the top, because you're going to cover that with your sentiment. Now I'm going to put my dimensionals straight on the belly band. Then I know they're going to go exactly where I want, because you don't want them to go onto the actual book. And you're going to stick your sentiment there. And then I've used a little rhinestone here, if it's going to come. It's one of those days, I think. Okay, put that there. There we go. Okay, so that's the outside of your album decorated. So now we're going to go on to the inside. Okay, so I'm just going to turn that phone on to silent. Okay, so the inside now of our little booklet, I'm going to be using more pattern paper. I'm not going to put in all the pieces with you on camera, but this is what we're doing for the back. These are again the pressed petals, so it's this burlap type paper I'm using for the back, and this measures 2.5 by 3 inches. Okay, and these little bits are going to go on the front here, so this is going to go at the back here. I'll just show you. Almost don't even have to stick this down, I can just show you. You can just going to push it in there like that and stick it down, and then these little pieces are going to get stuck down at the front here like that. And these pieces measure 1 3/4 inches by 2 3/4 inches. Okay, so this is all from the Pressed Petals collection, and you're going to put it in just like that, as you can see, and you'll do that for your whole album. Okay, let's put this on here. Now inside each little pocket I've done these tags, and I'll show you how to make one of these tags now. Okay, you're going to need some Whisper White cardstock that measures 3 inches by 2 inches, and we're going to be using this, which is our Delightful Tag Topper, and you need it 2 inches because that's the width that the tag will allow, the punch will allow, but obviously you can make it as long as you wish. So just punch down, and there we go. get rid of this detritus. So there we have a dinky little tag. And I'm going to be using the Botanical Bliss stamp set again. I'm using this stamp and this stamp, and we're going to be using the Pear Pizzazz and the Old Olive inks. So let's get those ready. Okay, so using this big one here, this big leaves, I'm going to be using on the Old Olive, and I'm just going to press it down like that, and maybe a second bit like that. Okay, and then I'm going to be using this one in the Pear Pizzazz, I think down there. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad. You can even fill in little bits here, there. And don't mind it looking a bit lighter like that, because it just gives variation in colour. Let's close up these ink pads before I stick something in them, as I always say, close up your ink pads, lessens the chance of a disaster. So that's our little tag. You can obviously put a sentiment on there, or put a little photo, or whatever you like, or do some journaling or something. And then I used this ribbon, which is the scalloped linen ribbon in Rococo Rose, and I'm just going to cut off just a little bit. We don't need very much of this, so it goes a long way. And then I'm just going to feed that through a little hole. You don't want the tag, well, I didn't want the tag at the top to be too long, because otherwise it was going to stick out the top of the album too much. So just have a little bit, and then I'm going to tie it here with some of our linen thread. So let's see if I can manage this on camera, or if I'm going to make an absolute fool of myself. Okay, let's see. Okay, I think we've managed to get our first knot down. Yeah, we do. And I'm just gonna, you can do a bow if you want. I'm not going to attempt anything that fancy today, because I just know it's not going to go right. So let's get rid of the tails. And there we have our little tag that will then go in our album. So let's go back to that page, and you will stick that in there. And you see why I said you don't want it to have much higher, much longer piece of ribbon, because it will stick up the album. Okay, and that's the basic construction. So I haven't shown you how I haven't stuck everything down with you on camera, because I didn't want this video to go on forever. But you can see here, it's the same principle. You do all the tags, all 8 of them, so there's no need for you to see me stamping the same thing 8 times. And then you just stick your pieces of paper down. I think you know how to do that. Okay, and you have a gorgeous little mini album, which you can use for anything you want to do. You know, you can do it for, let me get this round both bits, there we go. You could, you know, put little photos, if you've got a Canon selfie or little personal printer, you can put little photos in there, or you can journal about events or whatever you want, you know. But I think it's just such a gorgeous little make and take album to do. So there you go. So you can see the different ways I've done the binding. Here I stuck the paper on top, here I've stuck it underneath. You can do whichever way you like. So there you go. Thank you so much for staying with me for this whole video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, if you could give me a thumbs up, I would appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe. The supply list and all the score lines and, you know, all the measurements and everything will be on the blog post that goes with this video on my website, and the link will be down below. So until next time, enjoy being creative. Bye!